Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. Yeah, Solana, the conference started today. Solana breakpoint. We're also looking for our breakpoint on the chart as we're waiting here for a signal that the wave one that's currently happening here to the upside, that this is breaking. So yeah, waiting for that breakpoint essentially. So is it a coincidence that the conference happens now while the price is going up? So obviously, I just wanted to make you aware that this conference lasts until the 3rd of November. It often happens that, obviously we're measuring sentiment. We're measuring sentiment with the Elliott waves, and we see a massively overextended wave 5 on our chart. Obviously, I go to the chart in a minute. And that often goes together, right? It often goes together. You've got this sort of overextended sentiment, and that could happen. That might often peak at one of these events, conferences. We've seen it many times. And yeah, depending what happens here, it will be interesting. It will be interesting to see if after the conference or throughout the next couple of days or so, we get at least a healthy pullback. I'm not talking about a crash, not talking about, well, you might call it a crash in the traditional markets, but in crypto, you get these spikes and dips and so on every day. But it will be interesting to see if throughout this conference, or maybe even a day or two afterwards, we get a strong pullback, because it often goes along with a little bit of hype. So I just want to make you aware. So pay particular attention to the chart in the next few days, because it will be interesting to see if this is again something that's, this conference gets hyped, right? So it's all about that sentiment. Cryptos are all about hype, There's not so much fundamentals going on, it's all about hype. And yes, this is you could say, fundamental aspect. This is an event, but yeah, but it all ties back to sentiment, doesn't it? So that's what's so interesting about this. So let's go to the chart. Here you can see the chart. I've shifted the microstructures a little bit, but still of the opinion that we're here, in a pretty much overextended circle wave 5 of 1, and that a pullback in a wave 2 would be quite healthy to build a solid base for a more substantial rally. We have a wave 1, we have a wave 2, we have a wave 3, which is not the shortest one, very important. We have a wave 4, which is a little bit deeper than ideal. And we have a wave 5, which consists of 5 waves. Now with the latest push higher, I had to shift the microstructures a little bit. But we had here our small 1-2 setup, where the wave 2 bottomed on the 15th of October. Then the wave 3 ended likely here on the 23rd of October. This was a wave 4 triangle. We talked about a triangle yesterday already. And yeah, this could be wave 5. And it might really be that we are targeting this trend line of this ascending wedge pattern. Okay, so remember we talked about this ascending wedge pattern. It's going to test this trend line. Will be really interesting to see if we get a rejection there. Sometimes you get a fake out above it and then a strong rejection. So if there is a fake out above the trend line, which is around $36.90, that it might target $39, which is here the previous double top that occurred in November and September 2022. At the moment, I'm just simply watching here for tracking this uptrend basically against the last swing low. The focus is on higher. It's pretty clear it's an uptrend. I think we're getting exhausted, but the last push higher here obviously pushed above a trend line on the 4-hour RSI. It's still overall a bearish divergence that's playing out here, but you can draw trend lines, and it pushed above it, made another high, but didn't make another high on the RSI. Found support here at the 50 level on the 4-hour RSI and turned around. What's important to understand is that when we really look at the 1-hour chart here, you can see that the last wave up is only a 3-wave move. It seems likely that we at least get one more high, and that could reach $36.90. Yeah, this is the next resistance level, right? It's this trend line of the wedge pattern, pretty obvious one. But yes, we're extending higher, but this last wave only has 3 waves. It ideally would need 5. And therefore I'm watching for one more high above $35.35 to finish off a 5-wave move, to basically finish off wave 5 of circle wave 5 of 1. Remember my previous comments that I've made throughout the last couple of weeks. Extensions are the norm in crypto. We can really only track support, and support hasn't changed to the last video. That's Fibonacci support, $28.50. Below that level, we have a confirmation that this uptrend is basically over and we're coming back in a wave 2. Support for the wave 2, this is basically, so basically the orange line is the indication that this is not going to extend any higher. And then we can come down into the yellow box for a wave 2 pullback, which would be an ABC structure and doesn't go below $20 ideally. If it goes below $20, then we are looking for something more bearish. So it doesn't mean it has to come down to 20, but it means that this is support. So below $20, the wave count is likely going to change. First of all, that wave 2, however, has to start. At the moment, the uptrend is ongoing, as long as $28.50 is holding. Also made you aware that there are some structural support levels beforehand that need to break for me to believe that this move down has started. Now with the latest price action, it's the last swing low, so $31.30. Against that level, that's the key level that determines the current wave count. So if that level breaks to the downside now, then this basically further extensions get invalidated in this microstructure. It could still find a way, but then at least it would be an early indication that this uptrend is basically over. So I'm watching for that signal. Yeah, I'm watching for that signal that we could drop below that swing low. But at the moment, there is no sign of it. There is no sign. It briefly broke out of this wedge pattern to the downside. But as I said, when these wedges break and it's really an end of a diagonal, then it's typically a sharp reversal. Now there was, anything but not a sharp reversal. Therefore, we never got this, end of the pattern basically, and extensions to the upside happened. And not sure if that makes sense to draw the trend line here still. Probably not really respecting it anymore. I'll leave it on there for now, but certainly I'm watching for higher against this wave 4 low, and a key target would be this ascending trend line of the wedge pattern next, and above that level, the double top of September and November 2022. That's my update about Solana. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. As a channel member, you get access to the weekly live stream every Sunday at 5 p.m. UTC. You get access to Discord and Telegram, educational content, chat rooms. As a gold member, you also get access to additional short-term market updates, and you get access to all TradingView live charts. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.